This video is a long time coming, and hang on just a second. The reason why I'm going to do this is because I'm going to teach you guys two different things that you really need to know. Number one, people have been asking me, okay, I try to run your web pages and I immediately get a warning. And I don't know how to get rid of it, and I don't know what the warning is actually about. This video literally is a long time coming because at one time when I began these videos, I told you people that ActiveX controls, for the most part, are not dangerous except for a choice few. But they block all of them because they feel that they're all dangerous. And I'm sitting here going, okay, that is the dumbest thing I've ever heard of, but alright. Anyway, for those of you who have been learning my YouTube, and you guys have all been learning, you now know that there are some ActiveX controls that are extremely dangerous, and most of them are not. Okay, and I'm going to show you this. I am running Internet Explorer 9. For those of you running previous versions, you're going to have different things happen for you. But basically, let's go ahead and do this. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you this, and I'm going to talk about this in a second too. As you can see, there's a file extension here. Now, if you open up a folder, usually on a computer, and you see a whole bunch of files, you usually don't see their file extension. And I'll show you how to do that a little later on in this video. But, here's your file extension, okay? And what we're going to do is we're going to open up activitiesdeluxe.htm. And the very second we do, we get this little warning. And it says, Internet Explorer restricted this web page from running scripts or ActiveX controls, and it asks you if you want to allow the block content, and you would usually say yes. But you say, I don't want that warning there all the time. Okay, for those of you who do know what you're doing, okay, for some of you, you don't know what you're doing, and later on we'll start teaching you. But for those of you who do know what you're doing, let me tell you, you don't have to have that warning on all the time. How do you stop the warning? Well, you're going to hit Alt-T. Okay, you're going to hold down the Alt button. You're going to hit the letter T. Again, I'm going to say this. You hold down the Alt button, the ALT button on your... Here, I'll show you on the computer keyboard. See that Alt button, ALT? It says ALT right there on the top. You're going to hold that down, and then you're going to depress the letter T. Okay? In other words, you're going to type it. You're going to type T. And when you do, you're going to see a dialog box. This is the dialog box right here. Okay? And you're going to go down to the very bottom, and you're going to hit Internet Options. See this one that says Internet Options? Make it right big right there. You're going to click it, and then another dialog box will appear. See this great big dialog box right here? Has general, so on and so forth. Now, I'll explain this in a future video, because there's some things that I really do want you to know about this. But I'm not going to tell you about this right now. I want you to go through these tabs. There's a general tab, a security tab, a privacy tab, a content tab, a connections tab, a programs tab, and an advanced tab. I want you to go to the advanced tab. Click on it. Okay? And then I want you to go down here to something called security. Okay, you see this security? I want you to click the Allow Active Content to Run Files on My Computer. It says Allow Active Content to Run in Files on My Computer. I want you to go ahead and check mark that. And then I want you to hit the Apply button. You see down here the Apply button? We're going to click that. And now you're going to hit OK. The dialog box will disappear. Close your Internet Explorer. And then double-click activitiesdeluxe.htm. And guess what? That warning thing disappears. And when it does, your ActiveX controls will run. Now then, time for explanation. I know you're not seeing me right now, but time for explanation here. Why do they even have that warning on there in the first place? Because they have something called the file input type. And for any of you who has dealt with HTML, you know that there are input types. One of them is file. And this opens your file dialog box. And that means that somebody could actually come into your computer, pick up one of your files, and they can secure it in such a way that they literally hijack it from you. And you have to pay them to get a special password that will open your file again. That's something you don't want. But if you're not on a web page where they have that file control, don't worry about it. Okay? There are also a couple of other controls that can invoke your registry keys, and they want to block that as well. I understand that. Okay? No, you shouldn't have a control on your web page that controls your web registry keys. That's horrible. So when it comes to registry keys, or it comes to the file dialog box, yeah, they're dangerous, and you don't want them to be invoked on your computer. However, I don't design web pages with the file dialog box, and I don't design them with the registry keys. At least I don't distribute stuff like that. I do design it for my own computer, but I don't distribute that kind of stuff because I know how dangerous it is. So when you're dealing with my web pages, you will never find, unless you specifically ask, you will never find a file dialog box control or any control that will invoke your registry keys. I just don't mess with that kind of stuff. Anything other than personal business. When I'm doing things for myself, yes I do, but when I'm doing it for other people, I don't. You should be aware of things like that. Alright? Now, when changing what I just told you to change, if you know what you're doing on your computer, leave it changed. If you don't, you might want to switch it back. Okay? Anyway, now, how do you get this to be visualized? Well, what you're going to do is you're going to hold down your Alt button, you're going to hit F, okay? And when you hold down your Alt button, you hit F, a dialog box appears. And you're going to go to, I believe it's Properties. Nope, it's not. Okay, oh, I'm sorry, it's Alt-T again. I'm sorry, it's Alt-T, Folder Options, and then you go to your View tab. Okay, you're going to go to your View tab, and then this box, it says hide extensions for known file types, and I'm going to go through this again because I went through that just a little bit fast. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to hold down your Alt button, just like I said before. You're going to hit the letter T. Okay, when you do, a dialog box will appear. It'll say Folder Options. You click Folder Options, a dialog box appears. You're going to click the View tab. You're going to scroll down. Well, you don't even have to scroll down. It'll say Files and Folders up here, and it'll say Hide Extensions. It'll say Hide Extensions for known file types. Usually this is check marked, okay? But we're going to uncheck it. And by doing so, we're now able to see all the file extensions, which is something you will need to do as a programmer. Okay? So, to see all these file extensions, just do what I just told you to do, and you will see all these file extensions. Alright? I will tell you more in the next video, so stay tuned.